So today on Stool Talk, it's my privilege and honor to have with us a lady that's been doing God's work, that's been really changing lives in her city, her community, and I mean really changing them. I mean people that I know that's under her mentorship or under her classes, her programs, the different things that she do. You can tell the impact of them because they're talking different, they're walking different. So her light is, and the Bible says, let your light shine. And her light is shining and is allowing the women to be able to live right, to be able to change their ways, to be able to walk and just have a new outlook on different things, man. And she's doing a phenomenal job in the city. Miss Tiara Armstrong, how you doing?
Hey, I'm good. How are you? First of all, wow, powerful introduction. I'm a huge crybaby, so you over here about to
Uh,
make me like
yeah,
cry. Wow. Thank you.
yeah. It's a long time coming. Like I have been following you, like I said, and just hearing different friends that's been, like following you and that you've been impacting, from the Kamikas to the Kanishas to the Britneys, like different things like that, and they're serious about it. So to Miss Menchaca, like, I mean, just seeing the impact and seeing what you're doing, because when you walking in your purpose and you walking and doing the things that God is giving you, it may not be easy. It might be hard in the struggle because we live life and we go through it, dealing with pandemic. But those girls were faithful. I would see y'all had classes or sessions in the morning. They will faithfully be on there. So if you're making an impact and people are giving up their time, because time is something you can't get back, and they're giving up, their own time to make room for God, because that's all He wants us to do is make room, and He wants us to be able to be a vessel. And you have been doing that consistently, and just to see your ministry and where God is taking you is amazing. Where did this start? Is this something that you seen when you was little? Did you have a passion growing up? Did you go to church when you were little? Like, when did this start?
Um, uh, so I've always known I was different, always knew that there was something special about me. Um, always knew that there was a deeper connection. It may sound crazy, and I know when I tell this story, it sounds crazy to many, but you know how they talk about like personal encounters that you have with God, or spiritual encounters that you like. I have had those when I was younger. My mom often tells a story about how I'm her light in her darkest moments. There were times where I would say things, or I would speak over her, and she would end up moving in the direction, because again, out of the mouths of babes, right, lies the closest truth to God that we will ever hear, because of their purity and their innocence. So I've always known that there was a calling on my life. I did grow up in church. I sung in church, I danced in church, I did drill team. Like, I ran ministries as a young girl in church. I did a back to school drive, I did a homeless drive. Like, I've always been in the position to serve. And my heart has always been there for God. But it wasn't until my late teens, early 20s that this thing started to be bigger than me. I guess it's always been bigger than me, but it has really set an inside of me that this is bigger than me, right? We go through our teenage years and we go astray and we do our own thing and we fall and bump our heads. We think we know it all. But when God really puts you in that place of like, it's all or nothing, because I have this calling on you, you can't run from it. And so what I did was run from it. I ran from it for a while. I just didn't want all of the heaviness that come with it. I didn't want the responsibility of other people on me. I didn't want to feel obligated to be in a box. I didn't want anybody to box me. I just wanted to be me authentically and not live up to anybody's measures. And so when I had my son, I did 2 years in Akron at the University of Akron, and I got pregnant with my son. And so I ended up moving back to the city of Toledo. My boyfriend, who's now my husband now, had a better opportunity, and it was just better for me to come home for that support. And so having him, oh, changed my world, man. He's my light. And so while I was pregnant, I would get these dreams. I'm like, what does this mean? Like, I would see myself helping people and in these rooms and I didn't understand what it was, but it wasn't until I birthed my son that night that I had a dream. And I woke up and I just started writing. Um, and that's what birthed Heart to Hearts. And so Heart to Hearts is a mentoring program for girls. It was ages 5 to 18, but now we're 8 to 18. And it is a ministry where we are working on self-confidence, character, self-esteem, social skills, life skills, just being that listening ear. I never wanted any young girl to go through the things that I had to go through in order to find myself. I never wanted them to lose their self in the process of trying to find their self. So at 20, I started a mentoring program, didn't have no guidance. I got a lot of backlash in the city because I was young. People thought that I didn't know what I was doing, but when God calls you, he don't call the qualified, right? He qualifies the called. And so all I did was walk with what I know. And here we are going on 13 years later, 2,000 and some odd girls have gone through that program, from sixth grade on up. You know what I mean? Like, I have girls that have started their own businesses. They got married. They have kids. They're studying overseas. Like, they've gotten degrees. They've attended HBCUs, like all of those things. And I just look like, man, God, you chose me. I I don't have no words for it, really, to try to explain it. And so all while I was doing that program, people would always say, oh, you need to start an adult ministry, for Heart to Hearts. And I'm like, yeah, no. I'm good. I'd rather just deal with the kids. I don't want to deal with no adults. You know how women are. I don't want to do that. Like, I'm okay. But it kept resurfacing. And so I moved in a direction that I felt led to, and that was coaching. And that has turned into what you see today with the people that you have named, who are all amazing, phenomenal women. Their stories are so powerful. Their transformation is even more powerful. And to see the things that they are doing now, in the midst of that transition of fear, doubt, worry, insecurity, and anxiety, like, I'm floored, man, that God, he used me in a season where I was once there. And he birthed enough. And it was just a point where I was like, I'm sick and tired of being sick and tired. I'm sick and tired of struggling. I'm sick and tired of fighting my own mental battles. I'm sick and tired of settling for less. I'm sick and tired of not going after my dreams, or for people to tell me that there's a timeline for everything. I'm just tired. I'm tired of it all. And so here I am, God, whatever you want from me, I'm done running. And so here we are with all these amazing things that you just said. And to think about it, like I said, it brings me to tears, because it's me. Some days I feel unworthy, or like I don't have it all together. But if we had it all together, we wouldn't need them, right? So it blows my mind, man. It really blows my mind. So
So in
yeah,
the
that's
process of
backstory.
process of people saying you're too young, in the process of you starting off with the static and the resistance you were getting, what did you do to help get you through that? Did you lean closer to God, or did you have faith, or what took you through that, saying, you know what, no matter what they say, I'm gonna keep on going forward? Because that could be hard. You over people's lives, people are looking at you. For the people that's close to you in your circle, they know what you're doing because they see the impact, they see what God is doing, they see the movement inside your circle. But for the people, the naysayers and all like that, what did you do to stay strengthened and kind of block and drown those out?
It's personal, right?
Oh,
So people always, they know my brand, right? Or the saying that saved my life, really. And so I had to tune out the noise. It didn't matter what my mama said. It didn't matter. And my mom's an amazing supporter. I don't want anybody to think otherwise. But you know how people try to put their opinions on what you should do. In that season, it didn't matter what anybody had to say. I knew what I heard, and I knew what I felt. And so I had to drown out the noise. And part of my drowning out the noise was leaning in closer to him. So there would be days where, like, I wouldn't listen or watch anything that wasn't centered around growth, around spirituality. Reading was a big thing for me. Not just, I wasn't reading self-help books, right? I was reading like the Bible. I have a dope mentor. He is phenomenal. He's been in my life since I was 18 years old. I would call him on the phone in the middle of work like, hey, I'm struggling today. Like, I don't know if I can do this. I'm ready to throw in the towel. And he will always give me a word that was just right on time. I didn't never have to go into details. He was just spot on in that season. And just separating myself from a lot of stuff. I had to put boundaries in place, knowing that I couldn't go back to my old ways because they didn't serve me. They didn't serve no purpose. And it was hard because so many people are used to me being the Tiara that they knew, but where I was changing and where I was growing and where he was downloading, I couldn't go back to that stuff. So the saying is personal really was something that he dropped in my spirit. And he's like, are you going to choose man or choose me? And it's like, that's a tough choice, right? Like, because I want to chill and I want to vibe and I want to be around and I want to be connected. But like, if I don't choose you, I could possibly be missing out on something that could save my life. And if I'm choosing this over you, I've seen what this can do. I want to see what you can do for me, for myself. So it became personal. I had to wake up every day and tell myself, like, yes, you may want to do this, but it's personal. This journey is personal. Yes, you may want to talk to this person, but you know it's not no good. It's personal. Like, yes, you and your husband may be at odds right now, but you can't focus on that. It's personal. I have to draw thine unto him. And that's really what I did in that season, to just drown out the noise. I tried therapy. It didn't work for me. I felt like I was going more backwards than I was going forward. And that's no shun to therapy. It works for who it works for. But God was like, listen, I got more answers than a little bit for you. Journaling was huge for me. I love journaling. I keep my journal. So even from that time back then, I can look at myself now and I'm like, wow, dang, God, like you did your thing. Or what the kids say now, you did your big one. Like, God, you did your big one with me. Because you changed me from, if people knew who she was compared to who I am now, like the 180, I won't say 360 because that means I went back, but the 180, like, it's mind blowing to me that it was even possible, because those days were so dark. They were lonely. They were fearful.
Yeah.
It was a lot of fear. A lot of worry in that. I love it over here. I love it. Every other woman and every man to be that example and to help them get to this life over here, life abundantly. So, yeah.
One thing I love about your brand is personal. Every time I wear your shirt, it causes you to have to fellowship, or for you to be able to tell somebody about God, because they ask you what's personal. They ask you, so then that's opening up room for you to be able to minister. And God have put these two scriptures on my heart today about the interview. Matthew 28:19-20. Go therefore and make disciples of all nations, baptizing them in the name of the Father, the Son, and the Holy Spirit, teaching them to observe all things that I have commanded you. I am with you even at the end of age. Amen. And number 2, this one was definitely for you. Similarly, teaching the older women to live in a way that honors God. They must not slander others or be heavy drinkers. Instead, they should teach others what is good. These old women must train the younger women to love their husband and their children, to live wisely and be pure, work in their homes, do good, and be submissive to their husband. Then they will not be bringing shame to the word of God. So, like, even though it say older women, younger women will be able to teach older women. It says that in the word. And being that you're being able to pour into the lives of a lot of single women or women that in a relationship, but they see what marriage live out. Shout out to your husband, great guy, Mr. Armstrong.
Shout out to my husband, yes.
So they in this marriage work. They're seeing she got a husband. He love her. They both love God, and they're seeing the growth in y'all. Because I even see the growth in him. Being with you as a man finds a wife, he finds a good thing. And for them to see that now, they don't have to be able to say, man, I gotta hang with this dope boy because he got money. No, I can put my trust in God. I don't have to trust in this man in the streets. Because we are in this world. We not of this world. So, you know, different things that catch people's eyes, that's because they're looking for something. But once they find that connection, and with you and your ministry, you're bringing that connection to them so they can know, in my weakness, God will give me strength. I will be able to lean towards God and not lean to my other friend who's gonna have me doing the same stuff. So you being able to be a blessing in so many ways, and you humble about it. In which way do you think that your program and your ministry will be able to you know, be able to grow broader, or do you just plan to keep it this way, or are you taking it to the next level? In which ways do you plan on building it?
First of all, I'm not building anything. Let me say that. I'm not building anything. I am not building nothing. You hear me? Like, nothing at all. I am trusting God anymore. And I'm really, like, y'all see me doing the work, but it's him downloading in me and him speaking to me and him working through me, because this is not me. It's not me at all. Where I see myself, again, my vision is not his. First of all, I know for a fact that I'm going to be global, right? I know that there is not anybody that can tell me different. I've felt that since I was a kid. My mom used to do this thing where she asked me and my brothers, I have 2 younger siblings, and then I have a younger sister who passed away just last year. She used to ask us all the time, like, where do you see yourself in 5 years? You need a 5-year plan, a 10-year plan, and a 20-year plan. And I'm like, 14, right? Like, I don't know. I'm trying to win the next basketball game we got. I really didn't know. But when she started asking us those questions, they became journal prompts for me. And so I would write my name in cursive all the time, right? That's just something I would do in my spare time. Just write my name in cursive. And as I started to write my name in cursive, I would see like books. I would see me talking to different people. And so I would tell my mom, like, I'm going to own my own businesses. I'm not going to do what everybody else is doing. I'm different. I'm made to be different. Y'all going to see me wherever I am. Believe that. I don't know what way God is going to take this thing, but wherever he takes it, as he says, I'm going to do exceedingly and abundantly beyond anything that you could ever imagine or fathom. I really do believe that. So when I think I'm going to go global, God may make this thing go bigger than me, bigger than what I see. And so when you ask the question, like, where do I see myself? I see myself wherever he puts me.
I should have said, what God?
You breaking up.
I should have said, I should have changed it and said, where do you see God instead of you? That would have been a better.
I can't hear you.
Can you hear me now?
Yep, I can hear you now.
I said I should have rephrased it and said, where do you see God? Can you hear me?
Uh-oh. Yep, I can hear you now.
I said I should have rephrased it and said, where do you see God with your ministry and your program? I should have rephrased it that way.
He all up and through this thing. He is in. God is the CEO, okay? He's the CEO of me. He is the manager of me. He runs these businesses. I'm just a vessel. I'm literally just a vessel. I've done it on my own, right? And I failed big time. I've had massive failures in my businesses, both girls and in my women's ministry, or in my coaching, I should say. I've had failures trying to do it my way and to lean on my understanding and let emotion take place. I've had those moments. I don't want to do this on my own. I've seen what it looks like when he takes a hold of it and I follow him. So where I see God all up and through this, because it ain't me. It is strictly him. Wherever he say go, that's where I'm going. Whoever he say I'm supposed to be connected with, that's who I'm going to connect with. If he say no, I ain't asking no questions. Like, I'm just moving where he moves. I am in total submission and surrenderance. And that has been my thing since my birthday. I turned 33 last year, December 23rd. And for the first time, I didn't wake up with a wish. I didn't wake up with a New Year's resolution. I didn't wake up with things that I wanted to accomplish this year. My prayer simply was, God, whatever you want from me, that's what I want. And so here I am watching things unfold in the first 6 months of this year. Like, oh my gosh, God, you are blowing my mind. And in the next 6 months of this year, even embarking on this journey with this conference, like, what, God, yeah, I don't want nothing I want.
Yeah.
I don't want
A
nothing
bit
I
about
want. I
the
want everything that He wants.
Tell us a little bit about the
Um,
conference coming up.
so I'm gonna try to do this without getting emotional. The conference is an elevation from the course. So for those who don't know, I have a course called Enough. And so when God gave me that course, it was my desire to just impact 100 women. I just wanted to impact 100 women. Little did I know he was going to blow that thing up the way that he did. And so when you ask people to describe their experience in it, nobody can say what it is. They all say it's unexplainable. You just have to do it. And that alone blows me because, like, how do you not have a description for something you do, right? But you don't. You just, God has his way. And so my sister passed last year. And the morning of her passing, I didn't know she had passed at that time, but I had a dream. And that's how God talks to me. And so I text my sister, one of my god sisters, and I'm like, hey, I don't know how God gonna do this, but this is what He's telling me, and I need to tell somebody so I know I'm not crazy. I wrote it down in my journal. I put it in my notes on my phone. Still to this day, it's in there. On August 13th at 3:45 in the morning, this is what He gave me, this Enough conference. And so little did I know that same day I was gonna find out that my sister died. She died suddenly in a car crash, and so I didn't think nothing else of it. It was just that. And earlier this year, somebody was like, you should do a conference. And I'm like, yeah, no, I don't want to do that right now. Like, that's big. I don't want to do that right now. I just want to do this stuff that I'm doing right here. I got too much on my plate. And then my husband, who is absolutely phenomenal, I love that man 110%. I'm so thankful for him. I was speaking at people's engagements and selling it out, right? So
Uh,
he's like, no, we not booking another event till you do your own. I don't care what you got on the books now. Nothing else
yeah.
goes on these books until you do your own. And I'm like, all right, like whatever. He was like, oh, you think I'm playing? Like, book another event and see what happens. So, out of respect for my husband, I did not book another event after that. And so I had two women that have grown very close, near and dear to my heart, who are also a part of my coaching community. And they both are like, you need to do a conference. You need to do a conference. And so the one called me one day while I was with my son. And she's like, hey, we're going to the next level. It's time for a conference. And I'm like, oh my gosh, like y'all keep putting this on me. I'm not ready. But if God say we going, we going. He gonna have to pay for it. He gonna have to show the venue. He gonna have to line up the people. Like, that's big. And when I say people are not going to believe this story about this conference, when I say he lined up the people, he paid for it, he put the venue in place, everything that I asked him in prayer, he did, and he's still doing. So here we are planning for August 12th, which is the day before that I found out last year. A year later, we are doing the Enough, the release, a live experience of the course, but 10 times greater than what you've ever experienced. The city has never seen it. I ain't never seen it done in this city. And I've been to a lot of conferences and attended a lot of events in support of other people. But I haven't seen it done this way, the thing that he is putting inside of me. And so I have my mentors coming from Cleveland, Dante Thompson, two women that are in the coaching community that are part of the sisterhood, Sharon Thompson and Ranshay Allison, are going to be there. Bishop Parker is coming to bless us on it. But the beauty of this is all of those people have titles in ministry, but God was like, I don't want no titles. I want people to see them for them. I want
Yeah.
people to see the struggle that they went through. I want them to be able to ask the hard questions and to get my answer, not their answer. Like, he's really stripping this thing down to the bare minimum. So it's not for the sanctified and holier than thou. If you think you perfect, this is not the place for you to be. This is for the healing, the trying to find who he is and understand who he is. Those who are trying to build relationship with him. Those who are looking for transformation transformation, who are feeling that tug but just don't understand what it is, those who are searching for their breakthrough and ready to go to that next level but just need a support system. I don't care if you come with your husband, your girlfriends, or your best friend, y'all will not leave the same. And I can't wait to see what he releases in this room and how he shakes it up on that day.
Yeah, I believe deliverance is gonna take part in there, so be ready. Deliverance is definitely gonna take place. But you know, God says, "My word shall not return void." And you said you just wanted to do 100, and how He done did it 10 times. So His word is already showing. And what I love about it is, you know, God is continuing to get the glory because that's what He wanted to do. How does balancing your family life, ministry, a brand, running a program? How do you unwind or have self care? Like, what do you do to kind of pour into yourself after you done drained yourself and pour it into everybody else?
I had a tear. So when tear times happens, I'm not a wife, I'm not a mentor, I'm not a coach, I'm not a daughter, I'm a friend, I'm a sister. I'm me. I love everything that has to do with the spa. My bathroom has turned into a spa. So I will sit in the tub with Jesus himself for however long I need to be. I love nature. He speaks to me in nature, so I spend a lot of time in nature. I love music. I love singing. So those are things. I love cooking. And honestly, it's not a balance away from my family because my family is what balances me.
Yeah.
They are everything to me. So one of the reasons why I married my husband is because from the time I met him until this day, he makes me laugh. Like he can put the biggest smile on my face with something so simple. And those who know him, like truly know him, know his silly side. He'll crack a joke about anything in a minute. So comedy is really huge. My son is following in his father's footsteps. My house is so comical. It's so comical. It's never a dull moment in this house. Finding balance for me is spending time with my family, but when I need just me time, it's found in nature and in stillness because I talk so much. Being quiet is very important to me. I'll take a nap in a heartbeat. Give me a blanket and leave me alone for a long amount of time, and I might be asleep. Rest is important to this journey. So those are things that I do to find balance in this. And when I'm fueled, he send me back out. Sometimes the rest may be a couple hours, sometimes it may be a couple days, but when I'm ready, and it ain't no stopping. It's go mode. So
Yeah. Well, last question. What would you say to a young woman who's straddling the line, who's going in between trying to live right and balancing the world? What would you say to that?
there's so much I can say. Um, Trust what you hear. And I don't mean trust what you hear in the world. I mean trust what your heart is speaking to you. Uh, Trust that we have this powerful thing called women's intuition. And really it's just discernment, right?
Yeah.
Trust that. Trust that. Know that your popularity is not found in this world. This world will eat you up and spit you out, but the peace and the joy that you get on the other side when you're walking in faith, the world didn't give you and the world didn't take away. And I say that meaning that what you're searching for in the world will always leave you void, but what you're searching for in Christ will leave you so full that you operate in overflow. Trust what you hear, not what you know, because what you see and what you know is two different things. So I encourage you to surround yourself around some people that are not where you at, but where you're trying to go. Some people who will pour into you on your worst days, be honest with you, and celebrate you in those best moments. Create a routine that is structured around where you want to go and not where you're currently at. That will keep you focused. And when you don't have motivation to do it, that consistency and that discipline will be your best friend during that time. And that's really all I have.
Yeah, man, that's a lot, but it's helpful though. Man, we appreciate you taking this time out, man. Blessings to you, your ministry. I know you're gonna kill it on the 4th. I know God is gonna be in the place. I know it's gonna be a great turnout, and I know that there's gonna be many lives won for the kingdom, man. That's what it's all about. So we appreciate you. I thank you so much for this.
Absolutely. Thank you for having me. Keep doing what you're doing. Keep sharing the world those stories that we don't get to hear from people that we know, but we just don't know. That's powerful. Testimony is powerful. So I am praying for you, for your wife, for you both, your ministries. If there's anything that I could do to help you all, please let me know. But I thank you for this time and for having me. It truly means the world to me. So I hope I gave people something to think about, another motion to move forward in, and just a little bit more faith to keep going. Because if we got hope, we got all we need. So thank you so much.
Yeah, thank you.